Hello everyone, welcome to General Lando 327 Plays Final Fantasy X, Episode 1. Let's get this thing started. Just so everyone is aware, I am using a different setup than I usually do for recording these videos. I'm recording directly from my PlayStation 4 instead of through a game capture card. The reason being, first and foremost, it makes it easier for me. If I can do it this way, then I don't have to move my PS4 into the other room where I do my recording. We're going to use the Expert Sphere Grid, and we're going to use the remixed soundtrack. So I don't have to move this into the other room like I normally would. And number two, it means I don't have to unhook and rehook my PS3 every time I want to use every time I want to record for this series or anything else on PS4 in the future. The downside being that for whatever reason, PS4 will only allow me to record no more than an hour at a time. Which might come to be a nuisance, but we'll see. Especially considering how long some of the cutscenes are. There's one sequence of cutscenes that's about 45 minutes long later in the game. Second thing I wanted to point out, I'm assuming by now that anybody who's watching this video on my channel is likely to already be a fan of Final Fantasy X. But just in case, I highly recommend that you go buy this game if you haven't already played it. This game, along with X-2, the sequel, is on PS4 for about $30. So you get two full 40 to 50 hour plus games. X-2 tends to be more hit and miss with the Final Fantasy fan base. Personally, I love the system of X-2. It ranks second in my ranking for preferred mechanic system. I love the dress spheres. I love the way that those are done. I think they're a natural evolution of the class system. The story is meh, whatever. Comparison to this game, the Sphere Grid is kind of it's an okay system in my mind, but the story is phenomenal. So I'm primarily playing 10 on this channel just so I can get to X-2, which fits in better with my usual games that I play that I feel are either underrated or underappreciated or not well known. This game is certainly not in that category, any of those categories. I will mention that I tend to grind a bit fairly early on in this game, because, especially when I'm using the Expert Sphere Grid, because it gives me the ability to get things in a much more cost-efficient manner than the original the US Sphere Grid did. Go back here and talk to this guy first.
Tonight. It's very important.
But I'll probably do most of my grinding off camera.
Can you sign this?
Because fighting the same battles in the same area over and over and over again are enough to make me crazy, let alone anybody who wants to actually watch it. So when I get to the grind heavy areas, I'll just do all of that off camera.
Me too!
Take it easy.
Can I have your
I'm going to stick with the default name.
Of course.
And when it comes to naming,
Good luck tonight!
I guess the official name for him is Tidus. I refuse to pronounce it that way. For anybody who says that his name is
do
ever
this.
spoken in game, I
That'll
point
mean
you
it was
back
for
to the
you,
fact that we
okay?
can actually name him, which means that his name
What
can't
seat?
possibly be spoken because they don't know what name we would have given him.
From the right.
Plus, I played
Got
this
it.
game and 10-2 multiple times through, and never is his name spoken. Including in end cutscenes, because that's where people tell me it is. It's not. I've double verified.
Thank you for the autograph. Thank you for the autograph.
You're not the one I want. You're the one I wanted to
Can I
talk
see
to.
you after the game? Great! I know this great place.
Well, gotta
Your
go.
response there
Cheer
doesn't
for
make
me.
any difference, but
2, 3. Teach us how to blitz.
Hey, I got a game to play.
Then teach us after.
Maybe tonight, well,
You can't tonight.
I mean tomorrow.
Promise?
Promise.
I was in a coffee shop running away from home when I heard the news. Our hero, Jecht, gone. Vanished into thin air.
okay.
My dad must have been his biggest
So there
fan.
are certain people
I knew
here
how
that give
sad
us
he'd be.
things.
Heck, we all were that day. Zanar, I says to myself, what are you thinking? I went running
Not
straight
you.
back home. We sat up talking about Jecht all night. My dad and I never talked so much. Whoa. Didn't mean to reminisce, folks. Anyway, 10 years later, the Jecht Memorial Cup tournament is today. The two teams that have won through to the finals are, of course, the Abes from A East and the Duggles from C South. I know there's a lot of people out there today to see the star of the Abes.
You?
In just 1 year, he's become the
Stop.
team's #1 player. He's Jecht's blood and the new hope of Blitzball.
There it is.
What kind of super play will he show us today? Will we see his father's legendary shot? I don't think I'm the only one excited here, folks.
Make way, make way!
You can't actually just sit
Coming
here and
through,
he'll
sorry.
eventually go inside. That's actually what I
Hey,
did the first
I'm
time because I
gonna be
didn't
late.
realize he was there
Hey, let
because
go!
of the angle of this. Or you can force your way through the crowd like I just did. Hopefully this doesn't have a copyright on it that's gonna prevent this from being aired. Hadn't really thought about that until just now. Because I had that happen with the end of Kingdom Hearts. I had the closing sequence song was copyrighted and they wouldn't let me put it up, so I had to cut that from the final video of Kingdom Hearts. Hoping I don't have to do the same thing here, because this is kind of substantially crucial to the beginning of the plot. And if this song is copyrighted, that means that the final boss sequence will also be copyrighted, which is a pain. So I'm kind of just going to keep talking for a little bit so that hopefully I can argue that me talking about it is transformative. This whole thing is ridiculous, but I guess what do you expect from YouTube? And then crazy things happen. Hey look, it's a creepy old
What are
guy.
you doing here?
I was waiting for you.
What are you talking about?
It begins.
What?
Don't cry.
What the? Huh? Hey, wait! Hey, not this way.
Look. We called it sin.
Sin?
Take it. A gift from Jack to me.
My old man?
I hope you know how to use it.
They never do explain how it is that he would know how to use the longsword. But you know, whatever. I'll
These
take
ones
it.
don't matter. We cut through.
Alright, so there's an option here where we can actually learn some of the modes to charge our overdrives. If you haven't played this game, you'll understand all of that later. But I'm not going to do it because, number one, they're modes that I don't typically use to begin with, and number two, It's not worth my time. It would mean I would have to cut the video and then paste it back together later, and I'm not real sure how to do that yet on a PS4, so we're not going to do that. We're just going to keep going with the story.
Don't bother going after all of them. Cut the ones that matter and run.
Alright, so again, you can kill other ones, but I don't believe we even get anything from these fights. In fact, I know we don't get anything from these fights. As far as like leveling goes, because the spear grid isn't unlocked yet. And now we get our first boss.
Get out of my town!
So
Some can't
the
wait
nice
to
thing about
die.
this fight is that as long as you kill off the scales, the boss cannot kill you. That'll kill everything except the boss, and now it can't kill you because the only attacks it does are Demi, which just takes a percentage of your health. And there we go. Alright, then we get our save sphere. Heals us completely, which is wonderful.
What are you laughing at, old man? Lauren, let's get out of here.
We're expected.
Huh? Give me a break, man.
Here we basically want to like focus on the ones whose wings flicker, because that means they're going to do their spines attack, which is relatively nasty compared to the normal attacks anyway.
This could be bad. That! Knock it down!
What?
Trust me, you'll see.
Alright, so now we can attack this thing. Still don't particularly want to get hit by that attack. There we are.
Go.
Oren! Oren!
I don't think that's the way gravity is supposed to work.
You are sure?
Also, if it's lifting all that stuff, why is it not like lifting them off the ground?
This is your story.
See, now it's working on him.
It all begins here.
Hey. Hey!
My old man?
All you have to do in this little cutscene is figure out where you're going, which happens to be over here, and then go down to that level.
I thought about a lot of things. Like where I was, what I got myself into. I started to feel lightheaded, and then sleepy. I think I had a dream of being alone. I wanted someone, anyone beside me, so I didn't have to feel alone anymore.
Now I could pull the Albed primers that I have in my other save files so that we had the Albed language, but I'm not going to do it because we want to collect all of them.
Hey!
since this is a Let's Play, I'm gonna play it as if it's for the first time as far as collecting things. Which basically only applies to the primers. Alright, now we want to explore before we go that way because there are a couple of chests. Of course, remembering how to get to them is always the hard part. I think there's one over here. Maybe, maybe not. So this thing is significant if we had the Al Bhed language,
What
but
do we have here?
we don't, so. There's one of the chests. That's the compilation sphere, but we don't want that. That would bring in all of the Al Bhed primers that you had in another save file if you wanted to, so that you had the Al Bhed language at the beginning of the game, which is fun. It's nice to have, because otherwise it's a long time before you understand everything. Oh, do keep my hit points from previously. Alright. Alright, now our only option is down. And now we get underwater combat, so that's cool. And then the game says I summon bigger fish. Alright, so like before, this boss cannot kill you. It's not ever like stated, but his attacks are all gravity based, so they again will only take a percentage of your health. And as you can see, you're not doing much damage to him. This is intentionally an unwinnable battle. Unless you use cheats, but meh, not gonna do that. Don't worry, someday we'll come back and get our revenge on this guy. Also, this is suddenly feeling like a Tomb Raider game. It's okay, you can just destroy all of the valuable artifacts, no big deal.
I had made it out of the frying pan and into the freezer. I thought I was gonna die in this place.
Up the very broken stairs. Yep, we're definitely in a Tomb Raider game.
Cold. Need fire.
Don't worry, I'm sure Lara Croft will come in with some, giant explosions and everything will be just fine. Alright, we want this chest. A very, very well hidden X potion. Oh yeah, right, so. Alright, this time we are actually going to save. Not going to overwrite that save file. I actually don't have a whole lot of primers unlocked on the PS4 version. I replayed it on the PS3, but I was still in the process of replaying it on PS4. Since they made the remaster twice. Well, they made it for PS3 and then ported it to PS4. Alright, now we have the flint. Now all we need is some tinder. Get this chest for an ether. And there's our tinder. But before we go back, we want to go in here. By the way, there's never any way back here, so don't miss these chests. can't get them otherwise. Okay.
I need food. What do you want?
It was a bad call. Your team lost because of you.
You came to say that?
It's been 10 years. I thought you'd be crying.
Who, me?
You cried.
Okay, so re-enter Weird Creepy Boy. So about that fire.
Hey!
Oh, I'm sorry.
Wait,
Did I
wait.
not mention the
Don't
giant
go out
monster
on
in the
me.
room?
Just hold on. I'll get more wood.
Yeah, and where exactly did you see wood in any of this place? Oh, that's right, you didn't. And speaking of the monster in the room,
Give me a break!
alright, so this is our first real boss fight. Honestly, it's our first real fight, since none of the other ones ever presented a challenge. So basically, anytime you have 2 turns in a row, you want to toss a potion as one of them. And you can't hope to kill him. It's the same type of thing. But if you die, it's game over. So you just need to do about 750 damage. Hey, look, there's the explosions. None of you look like Lara Croft. Sorry. Okay, you're closer. Is this like the steampunk version of Lara Croft? Because that'd be cool.
You on my side? Cool!
Alright, so now we get to use our grenades that we just acquired by having another person come into our party who happened to have them. Alright, now we're gonna go ahead and steal, steal some grenades, hopefully. 1. Cool. There we go.
Phew. That was close. Hey, let me go!
Fredek Drak! Ifin, Irisa, Tekiaka! Wak, Edeku! Gemed?
Fed! Shrivadak Risa!
Dralnia, Drakisha Tain.
Ifun Petit, Fapuneket Fedrik.
I love the work that they did on the Albed language.
Kuno.
Making it sound like a real language just by transposing letters.
Kid, did Daja.
Hey, that hurts!
Usujek, Rain?
Whoa. Okay.
Canis!
Right, whatever.
Tui Hood Kabeg?
I said I don't understand.
Akumala!
Fed! He said you can stay if you make yourself useful.
You
It's
understand
actually
me?
not what he said, but that's beside the point.
All right, I'll work.
And don't miss this primer. It's a missable item, and it's your first Albed primer. And it translates 1 letter. So obviously there are 26 of these. Woohoo! We know 1 letter of Albed now. And I believe it goes in sequence. If I remember correctly. No, because it does that. Yeah, so what it does is it translates each letter individually at a time per number. I need to talk to... So now the ones that are in deeper pink, that's the letter that we know, so those actually are A's. Thank you, potions. Alright. So we are going to have a there a save point? I think there's one down there, isn't there? Well, I guess not. Okay, so we are going to call it an episode here. One thing I'm going to have to do because of the limitations of recording on PS4 is I'm going to have to cut some episodes a little shorter than I intend to, because I know that there are long cut sequences coming up that we can't fit in the hour that we have. So this is one of those cases. We're going to cut it here. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the first episode of Final Fantasy X. I will see you guys next week. Everybody have a great day.